Let's start there. Why not chemical engineering?
Actually, in my final year, I had two offers, right? I had one offer in consulting, cybersecurity consulting, and I had another offer to go into industry, right? So I had to choose, right? Depending on the company you're in, maybe between 30 to, let's say, 60. 30 to 60, that's the range that you can expect, right?
Do you think I can get into cyber security consulting without a degree? Do you think,
Yes.
have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Guys, welcome to the village. My name is Boni. Today, we are focusing on cyber security consulting. Guys, I did not know about cyber security consulting until I had a chat with our guest, Yothando Khanyi, who is a cyber and privacy professional. She's got about 4 years of experience. She works for one of the big 4 consulting firms. Khanyi holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from Vet University, and she has 4 cybersecurity certifications. So today, our main focus will be more on the cybersecurity consulting, how to get into it. Even if you don't have a degree and would like to get into this, do not worry about it, because there's something that we are going to talk about. For now, let's welcome Khanyi. Hi, Khanyi. How are you? Please say hello to the village.
Hi, Boni. Hi, village. How are you doing today, Boni?
I'm feeling great. I'm good. I can see you're bubbly as usual. I always see you on your TikToks. You're always bubbly. But you know why I called you here. I was very interested in your story because I knew you had a chemical engineering degree, but you work in cybersecurity. So I was like, okay, we need to speak to this girl. The girl must come and have tea with us. How did it happen for you? How did you get into... Okay, first question, why not chemical engineering? Let's start there. Why not chemical engineering?
To be honest with you, it just didn't click for me, honestly. I mean, I went through the emotions because my degree was 4 years, right? First year, I was very uncertain. I was like, okay, engineering, cool profession, it'll open up doors for me. That's why I actually did it in the first place, right? Because I didn't know exactly what to study. Second year, I really tried to fall in love with, the degree and the profession altogether. It just didn't work out. And the only reason why I went through with it is because of the opportunities engineering opens for you, right? So engineering gives you the opportunity to, go into banking, to go into finance, to go into consulting if you want to. So you're not stuck, right? So if you're a person that's indecisive and really doesn't know what career choice that you'd like to take, engineering would be your best bet, right? Because you're exactly like me. And look, I've ended up in cybersecurity, even though I did not study IT.
But we have to agree, engineering is not easy, babe. It's not easy. It's not an easy degree. So can you imagine just to go through? Did you finish in record time, 4 years, or it was a bit extra?
No, I finished in record time. Yeah, I did.
Look at
And
her.
you are right. It's a very challenging degree, but there are ways you can manage the difficulty, right? I don't think everyone that manages to pass engineering is the smartest person on earth, right? It takes hard work, dedication, knowing the right people, having the right mentors. So if you put in the effort, you put in your brains, you know the right people, and you do the right things, you will get through it, right? You just need to have the correct recipe. It's not easy, but you can do it,
Okay. So can we conclude that you didn't even bother to look for a job as a chemical engineer to get into processing, all those things?
Actually, in my final year, I had two offers, right? I had one offer in consulting, cybersecurity consulting, and I had another offer to go into industry, right? So I had to choose, right, whether I was going to stick with my decision of not going to engineering or actually do it. So I decided not to, even though I did have an offer.
So you already had opportunities, but you were not interested. What type of consulting? Okay, so how did you get into cybersecurity? Is this now through consulting?
Yes. Okay, so I do cybersecurity consulting. So I'm a cybersecurity consultant, right? And I got into it through a graduate program. So in my final year, they were recruiting engineers to get into the consulting space, some into data science, some into cybersecurity, some into management consulting, right? So it was a wide variety of consulting opportunities that were available. And we were interviewed, right? And they placed us in the different divisions. And all of us were graduates. So that's how
Okay.
I got into the field.
Okay. And then, okay. I'm sure other people are confused as well, like me, because I
Okay.
recently spoke to a young man. There is a
Mm-hmm.
senior cybersecurity analyst, and
Mm-hmm.
where he is in terms of cybersecurity, he was stressing out
Mm-hmm.
that it's very important to have IT background because you
Mm-hmm.
can have certain gaps and stuff. But it's different for everyone, obviously. So when you
Mm-hmm.
say cybersecurity consulting, what does it entail?
So I am a cybersecurity consultant, right? And I'll break it down to you like this. So there are a variety of things that you do as a cybersecurity consultant, depending on the projects that are there, right? So maybe let me break down cybersecurity, right? Because it's a very, very broad profession, right? There
Mm,
is the what I call the technical side of cybersecurity and the non-technical side of cybersecurity. So the technical side of cybersecurity is where you do things like pen testing, threat intelligence, vulnerability management, right? So those that are in the space are familiar with those terms. Then there's the non-technical side where you do more of the cybersecurity strategy, right? So you tell the organization, hey, if you want to increase your cybersecurity posture, this is what you need to do. These are the policies that you need to have. This is how you need to set up your organization. And they help you with that. Then with the more technical side, they say, okay, this is your cybersecurity strategy. We will help you implement it, right? So you want someone to do the pen test, we will do it for you. So cybersecurity is broad
oh,
in that sense, right? And within the technical side of cybersecurity, there are many different things that are done, right, to protect a
mm,
company's security. So that's why it's a lot, right? So
okay.
when you're a cybersecurity consultant, you do both depending on the projects that I'd had. You either do technical or you do non-technical, right? Some people prefer to
Mm,
specialize, some people don't prefer to specialize. They kind of know a little bit about everything, right? And those are the ones that end up
mm,
in like a management role. But then you have those that are very technical and they focus on one thing, right, within cybersecurity. So
okay.
that's that's basically a definition of what a cybersecurity consultant does.
Okay, so you are more on the strategy, I'm assuming, not the
Yes.
technical side of it. Okay.
Yes.
Because,
But I have had exposure with the technical side of things, right? Just my preference is more with strategy as well.
okay,
The beauty is you
okay,
can dabble between the two, right? So you're not stuck. You're not a non-technical resource, and you can't dabble in technical stuff as well because you can do that too.
okay. Okay, no, I'm happy with
Yes.
that. Because inhliziyo yami cishe yami ukuthi how. How now? How come? Okay, thank you
Mm,
for bringing this
mm,
up. I
mm-hmm,
think it was very interesting. This is why I felt it's going to be interesting, an interesting one to have you on board as well, because the other
mm-hmm.
guy, Brain, was very technical, is a technical,
Technical.
IT background type of
Okay.
person. Yeah.
Okay.
So no.
Mm-hmm,
I'm happy with that.
mm-hmm.
Yothando, I know, Khanyi, Yothando, I know you can't be in this space without certifications. When did
Absolutely.
you do them? Like, you get on your graduate program, and then what happens next? You start with your certifications, and which ones did you go for?
Okay, so I started getting my certifications 2 years into cybersecurity. The first year, I was still finding my feet, to be honest, because remember, I did not have an IT background, so I had a lot of catch up to do and a lot of self improvement that I need to do in the field, right? And also, I was trying to find what I wanted to do in the field before I do certifications, because you don't just do certifications to get into cybersecurity. You do certifications for specialization, right? So if you decide that okay, I want to specialize in, let's say, the non-technical stuff, right, then you do those kind of certs, right? If you want to
Okay.
specialize in technical, then you do those certs. So it's very specific. You don't just do certs. So I started doing certs in my second year, and the first cert I did is called CIPM. So it's a Certified Information Privacy Manager, right? That's the first one I did. Then I have done CISM, right, which is a Certified Information Security Manager as well. Those are the two major certs that I have done. I've also done CC, so it's Certified in Cybersecurity, right?
Okay.
That's the third certification that I have.
Okay, I thought we had
Yeah.
four, or was it? Okay, I thought, is it four or three?
Oh, sorry, I have actually forgotten another certification I did. Reminding me. The fourth one is ISO 27001 Lead Implementer. That's a cert that I did actually recently last year. Forgotten about it. Yeah. So that's the fourth cert I have.
Look at this girl. Khanyi, you are such a lovely young woman. I can see you loved
Thank
your
you.
books. You know, you are ubuyile umuntu nje esikoleni. Tell us, which school did you go to? And I have
Mm-hmm.
to embarrass you and ask you about your maths. How was your maths at school?
Okay. So high school, I went to St. Martin's High School.
Okay.
Math was it my favorite subject? I think chemistry was my favorite subject, right? But maths was definitely a subject that I enjoyed, right?
Mhm.
So in terms of my math capabilities, I think because I enjoyed it, right? I did well at it, right? Because I would do my homework after school, I'm very diligent and I made sure that, when it comes to maths, everything was
Yeah.
up to scratch. And then yeah, I matriculated with a distinction in maths, right? And that obviously determined whether I made it into engineering or not, because if you want to get into engineering, they need good marks for maths. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my background with maths.
Is St. Martin's a private or public school?
Oh, it's a private school.
Private school. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Kanye, I know you didn't want to really go into engineering. Why didn't do
Mm-hmm.
something else? Like maybe actuarial sciences, maybe become a CA. Why engineering?
Honestly, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in the first place, right? So I knew that I wanted to, get into management consulting. I kind of had an idea of where I wanted to be in life, but when I was in matric, I was confused, right? And I had a conversation with my dad, right? And he was like, okay, do engineering because engineering will open up a lot of doors for you. So when you're ready to make a decision about your life, have a degree that gives you the versatility to just move, right? So if you don't want to do this, you can leave it, right? If you want to do that, you can do it. So engineering, uh, as you all know, opens up doors in, financial services. You can get into consulting. You can even go into industry. You can stream out and do quite a lot of things. So that's why I actually chose engineering. So when it
Mm,
got to a point where I was
okay.
now choosing my career, I had that flexibility because of my degree. So that's
Mm,
the main reason why I chose engineering, to be
mm,
honest.
okay.
It doesn't
Because
limit you. Yeah.
a lot of people, like the streets are talking about how,
Mm-hmm.
oh, engineering, especially chemical engineering, is not easy to get a job. What are your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm.
uh
True.
did your
Mm-hmm.
classmates get placed to Costa Sol and stuff, like they didn't struggle, like what happened there?
To
Can
be
you share some
honest with
insights?
you, yeah. To be honest with you, getting a job as a chemical engineer or a process engineer is difficult, right? So there aren't a lot of opportunities, and that's the truth. Um, I would say in my class, I mean, I'm speaking out of terms, right? I think about
Okay.
40-50%, right, landed up in core engineering, right? So they either went into process engineering or chemical engineering, as you'd say, and they went they work for Sasol, BP,
Mm,
NIMPAC, So I think about 40-50% landed up there. Then the other 50%, right, which is us, we have landed up in banking, consulting, some are even in software engineering. We are everywhere else, right? So I think it's quite an even split, right? But I also want to
okay.
mention that some of the people that I know for sure wanted to get into engineering, they didn't get opportunities, right?
Mm,
Um, Another fact to mention is it's always easier to get a job as an engineer if you already have a bursary, right? Which is quite unfortunate. So for instance, if a company like Sasol sponsors you, right, you know that you go through your
Okay.
degree, then after 4 years, they will give you a job as a retainer. But if you are not funded, right, it's difficult for you to get those opportunities. And you have
Okay.
to, find your way to get those opportunities. That's something that's unfortunate, but currently that's the way things are. So yeah,
Did you have a
no,
bursary?
I didn't. I didn't have a
Oh,
bursary. Yeah, I was
oh.
self-funded. Yeah, I was self-funded from first to final year.
Am I correct to assume that you were very bright, even at varsity? I can see you were good with your math in high school. But now I see a list of
Mm-hmm.
things here, Dean's List Award, Golden Key membership, class rep. Like, tell us about these, and did they in any way help you to land your first job?
They did help me to land on my first job because I mean it's nice to have these things on your CV, right? So you do stand out. So you get an opportunity for the interview because people assume certain things about you when they see that, right? But ultimately what lands you the job is the actual interview, how you present yourself, right? The most
Mm-hmm.
important thing that I've learned, there is a huge jump between, when you're when you're looking for a job and when you are in school, right? Whether it's varsity or high school, right? The skills that are needed are different. So they're not looking to see, okay, is this person good at maths, right? They're looking at more of your critical thinking skills. Okay, this person knows math. Can they actually apply these skills? Right? That's why they actually
Okay.
interview. Does this person have a good personality? Can this person gel within the organization? Is this person teachable, right? Because they assume if you're a graduate, you've never had a job. So they're not testing your technical skills. They're testing, can you learn, right?
Oh,
Do you have an adaptable personality? So it did help me to get the interview, but to cross that line over to getting a job, I think it was more of proving myself in the interview to see that, okay, I can actually do the job. Yeah.
okay. Khanyi, you know what? You work for one of the big four firms, consulting firms. I'm proud of
Mm-hmm.
you, and I know the village is proud of you as well. It's not easy to
Thank
get
you.
here. Yeah, boy, it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
It's not.
I only done number. But
True,
you know
true.
me, I will always, in the village, we are always curious. We always want to know if our babies are being taken care of at work. What can we
Mm,
expect from the graduate program and stuff, as you go up?
okay. So I will give you a range depending on the number of years you spend in the field because that determines your salary, obviously, right? So as a graduate,
Mm.
if you're straight out of varsity, you don't have any work experience, right? And you want to get into
Mhm.
cybersecurity consulting, expect anything between 20 to 35 take home. So that's your net salary, right? And then when you start accumulating experience, that's like between 3 years to let's say 6 years, right? Obviously, you're now
Mhm.
expecting, um, depending on the company you're in, maybe between 30 to let's say 60, 30 to 60. That's the range that you can expect, right?
Right.
And then 6+ years, right? I mean, the sky is the limit. So you can expect a lot of money going into it. I always say cybersecurity is a great profession. It's a very rewarding profession, right? But you need to wait it out. So once you have your experience, once you have your certs, once you've spent enough time, then the sky is the limit, really.
How is the stress?
Yeah. The
How is the
stress,
stress?
the stress in consulting is a lot, right? You have to be able to juggle a lot of projects. You have to be able to work under immense stress because remember you're working with clients, right? And you face different clients on different engagements. So that's one stress of the component. Then there's the actual work, the delivery. You have to stress about that as well. So it's a high stress
Mm.
environment, but you can adapt to it, right? If you're in
Okay.
a good company and the company has a good leadership style, right? Has good training, has good support, you'll do just fine. But it's not a walk in the
Mm.
park, definitely. It's not a walk in the park.
You know what? I have to ask you this. What advice would you give some? Okay, let's start here. Do you think I can
Mm-hmm.
get into cyber security consulting without a degree. Do you think,
Yes.
have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I know people that are flourishing in cybersecurity that don't have a degree, right? Um, and these are people that are just passionate about the field. So these are people that have taught themselves how to be cybersecurity consultants. So you can come in there without a degree, but then what else do you have? Do you have the certifications, right? Can you code?
Yes, of course.
Have you done some self-improvement? Have you actually immersed yourself enough to be able to do the job? Because at the end of the day, that's what they care about. Not the degree you have, but can you do the job? So you don't need a degree, because I know people that are in the field without a degree, but you have to have your certs and you have to know your
Yes.
things, right? Yes.
So the set are the
Yes.
golden key. That's the golden key. Okay. Because I
Mm-hmm.
I had to go in there, and then I just need to double check, because maybe some people, they are watching this, they know you have a chemical engineering degree, and they're thinking, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I can't get into consulting because I don't have a degree. But I think when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
degree, the advantage that we have is you can get through what? A graduate program. It's easy to
Yes.
get.
Yes. Exactly. So to that point, right? If you have a degree, you can get through a graduate program. If you don't have a degree, it's going to be much harder for you to get in, and that's the truth, right? Because you're going to have your certs, and maybe they're going to ask for work experience, and ask for a whole lot more things if you don't have the degree, and that's the truth, right? But
Mm.
is it impossible? No, you can do it still.
We are having so much fun with the Ukraine. I'm even forgetting to tell you to like and share the video. But most importantly, leave questions for
Mm-hmm.
her. Khanyi, you know what? Let's say I'm watching this and I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a degree, but I would like to
Mm-hmm.
get into, let's say I have a degree or I don't, but I would
Mm-hmm.
like to get into cybersecurity consulting. Which
Mm-hmm.
certificates do you think are critical? Like the ones that I must start with? I know there's a lot, but which ones do you think, you
Yep.
know what, these ones will give you the base?
Okay. So if you're starting out and you're just interested in the field, right, you should check out two certifications. The first one is Security Plus, right? You can get this one through COMPTIA. That certification will give you a very broad range of cybersecurity, right? And you get to learn different elements of it, and you can decide, okay, is this something I want, or is this something I don't want? But also, it also give you the technical background for you to start, right? So Security Plus and Network Plus. I think if you have those two,
Mm.
you have the fundamentals to then be an exceptional cybersecurity consultant. Obviously, from there on, when you do decide to specialize, then that will determine the certifications you do, right? So after you
Okay.
get those two, you
Mm.
get your work experience, you decide what you want to do, then you specialize, and then you do certifications that are in line with what you've decided to specialize in.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is a good place to network with other people within the industry? Please don't say LinkedIn. Are
It's
there like
absolutely
any
not
industry
LinkedIn.
events? Like, are there any industry events?
Yeah, there probably are industry events, but I've personally not explored that, right?
Okay.
Yeah. To be honest, this profession, I think it's still emerging, to be honest. So there aren't a lot of like events, and there isn't a buzz around it. So in terms of networking, you are going to struggle a lot. But how I have built my network is through LinkedIn, I know. But also because I'm a consultant, I work with different projects, different clients. So I get to engage with people in the industry, right? But there are events. I'm just thinking of one now. I haven't personally attended to the event, but there is one called IT Web, right?
Okay.
So it's it's an annual event that runs every year. You go to it through invitation, right? So you can check that out and see if it's something that you'd like to do. So that's one that
Mm.
I can think of from the top of my head.
But you say you go through invitation. So if I'm not in the industry, I can't be invited.
Unfortunately, right? But I may be speaking out of terms. So you can do the
Mm.
research and find out that actually maybe you can attend those events. I personally haven't attended, but I know
Okay.
it's quite a popular event. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. No, I get you. What are three
Mm-hmm.
critical skills that you think we need for this profession, as in cybersecurity, especially in consulting, like 3 critical skills. Like without these ones, into yakho ayindawo.
Number one, problem solving, right? Because remember, as a cybersecurity consultant, what you're trying to do is solve the cybersecurity concerns of your clients, right? So number one, problem solving, right, is the number one skill that you need to have. Number two, you have to be great at communication, because if you're a cybersecurity consultant, you find the problem, right? But what's important is how do you then communicate that problem to your clients? You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you need to be able to relay that. Number two. Number three, you need to be a person that's adaptable. So you should be, maybe not adaptable. I think the right word is agile, right? Because cybersecurity is a very fast-paced industry. You should be able to, number one, keep up with your reading, keep up with your search, keep up with the news, right? Be able to go fast with the time. So it's not like you can preempt and be like, okay, this is the problem we're going to face today. Because that's not the case, right? So you should be able to, think on the spot and go on the move. So you need to be agile. That's the last one. The second one that I had mentioned is communication. The first one, most important one, is problem solving. With those three, you're good to go. Yeah.
Okay. Khanyi, I know you are still young. You just got started in your career. I'm sure your parents are proud of you, and we are proud of you as well. I see you create content around property. Are you dabbling into property already, or you are just researching at the moment? What's going on there?
I guess I always break it down to people like this, right? I'm an engineer by training. I'm a cybersecurity consultant by profession, and I'm a property investor by passion, right? So I am just passionate about property investments. And when I started the journey, right, when I started working, I was like, okay, now I can actually, buy property, be a property investor, and be a property guru. And I struggled so hard to get the information, or to get the right information, right? And once I got all the right information, I then decided this is now a great opportunity to help young professionals like myself to get the right information in the event that they want to get into the property investment space. So that's why I started the TikTok page. And if you go there, you'll see I share all things property investments, how to buy your first property, the do's and don'ts, how to be a property investor, the things to look out for. So that's basically what my content is centered around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lady with many talents. Lady with many talents. Khanyi, I have to let you go.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed my time. Yeah, I could go on and talk. You see, now that we've talked about cybersecurity, we can even now start talking about property. I don't mind. And we can even talk about engineering. But thank you so much for having me. I thoroughly enjoyed the session, and I hope someone out there who really wants to get into cybersecurity finds this insightful, right? And if there are any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. If we need to do a follow-up, I am more than ready to do that. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed my time.
We love follow-ups. Guys, she's gonna be,
I'm here for it.
Khanyi is going to be a friend to the village. Yeah, we are definitely
I'm part of the village. What do you mean? I'm part of the village.
Bye, Khanyi.
Bye.
Guys, I hope you find value. Please like and share this video with someone that might need it. And remember, as Khanyi mentioned, she will come back to the video and respond to all your questions. Guys, I really hope you found value in this. Okay, otherwise I'll see you on the next one. Bye.